Turning to another right-wing white woman making offensive remarks. This time it's coming out of Washington, and the woman in question is Representative Lauren Boebert. And this happened to be another elevator encounter for her at the Capitol. The Congresswoman out of Colorado, well, she was at the Capitol when she ran into a group of Jewish visitors who were touring the Capitol building yesterday. And instead of greeting them like a respectable, dignified human being who can exercise common sense, instead, Boebert decided to go ahead and say to them, "Are you conducting reconnaissance?" Here's the intel from BuzzFeed on this. So members of the group, which was meeting with Rep. Tom Suozzi, well, they were wearing yarmulkes, and the person coordinating the group is Orthodox with a traditional beard. One witness said the group, along with other members of Congress, was waiting for an elevator. When the doors opened, Boebert stepped out of the elevator and looked the group of visitors from head to toe. The witness said Boebert then asked if they were there to conduct reconnaissance. Of course, Boebert's response was essentially as terrible as her offense itself. Boebert told BuzzFeed News that she was referencing the many comments that had been directed at her from Democrats about Capitol tours prior to the January 6th attack, adding that some people present got it. "I saw a large group and made a quote, I made a joke. Sadly, when Democrats see the same, they demonize my family for a year straight," she said in a text. "I'm too short to see anyone's yarmulkes," she added. So here is essentially what she is referring to when she says that essentially Democrats have been coming at her. In the wake of the January 6th assault on the Capitol, Democratic Rep. Stephen Cohen of Tennessee and John Yarmuth of Kentucky said they saw Boebert leading a large group through a tunnel connecting the Capitol to House office buildings in the days before the attack. Their accusation came amid a broader discussion about reconnaissance tours at the Capitol, and Boebert called the remarks slanderous at the time. Now, despite Boebert's insistence that people got her joke and everybody was really on board, it seemed like no one was really catching the reference here. And that's essentially per a quote of a rabbi who was in that group. Well, he told BuzzFeed News, "When I heard that," in terms of Boebert's comment, "I actually turned to the person standing next to me and asked, 'Did you just hear that?' You know, I'm not sure whether to be offended or not. I was very confused." And Representative Suozzi, who brought the group to the Capitol to do this tour, really was commemorating the 41st anniversary of the end of the Iran hostage crisis, was not amused when it came to Boebert's statement, her purported joke. And he said that the bottom line is that everyone, especially members of Congress, have to be very, very thoughtful in the language they use, because when you're a member of Congress, you have an important role to play in society. You can't be cavalier in the comments you make, especially if they could be perceived as being anti-Semitic or discriminatory. But as we know, the antics aren't anything new for Boebert, as she had essentially waged some comments before in November, insinuating that Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota was a suicide bomber. Cenk, your thoughts?
Well, she's an equal opportunity offender, bringing Muslims and Jews together. Ironic. So should you be offended? Of course. Why did she pick that group? Let me ask you guys a couple of simple questions. Why did she pick that group out of all the groups that are in the Capitol? Too short to see the yarmulkes, really? If anyone turns their head at all and you see them from the back, you know that too short has nothing to do with it, right? You can't see it from the back? Of course you can. I don't know what vantage point she had, but the too short defense is hilarious. And you know is BS the minute you hear it. That makes you think, oh, okay, she's clearly lying. So she picked this group for a reason. And so, and the reason that the article is telling you that they're Orthodox is because sometimes folks dress differently if they're Orthodox. And so that's what makes them stand out. So are you here to do reconnaissance? That means you're an outsider. You're not like me, you're not like us. And I'm worried you're gonna do reconnaissance for someone else. So who would those Jewish Americans be doing reconnaissance for? Come on, I mean, look, guys, the number one problem here is they are so emboldened that they've now normalized anti-Semitism. They always thought it, but it felt acceptable to beat up on transgender people, Muslim people, Latino immigrants, etc. And there's gradations. Then they started, being more outwardly open about their hatred for black people, and now we're at the Jews. And so there is no bottom to this barrel.
Nope, not at all. Bridget?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, if she's the kind of person who thinks this is an appropriate kind of joke to make, then she has no business being in Congress. And I agree, if this like the joke really relies on the fact that, oh, you look different than I do. Like the whole joke is about othering people. And I just think that like, this is what she does. Like this is all she has to offer the American people is these kinds of childish so-called jokes. She doesn't have anything else to offer. She doesn't know how to govern. She doesn't know how to lead. She doesn't know how to like get policies through. And so it's kind of sad to me that this is how low she stoops, trafficking in these so-called jokes that are just, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, transphobia. This is all she has, and so I think it's really so embarrassing. We should all be embarrassed that she's an elected official. That this is the only thing that she has to really traffic in and offer the American people.
Absolutely, and especially coming off of last weekend, where there was that attack at the Texas synagogue. It's like the fact is that she really likes to other people and to essentially communicate to them that they're a threat because of their difference. And by attacking religious minorities, that's essentially what she does. And she attacks individuals who are gender minorities, racial minorities. Like this is really the playbook for these people. As you mentioned, Bridget, the othering of others and suggesting that they pose a threat somehow to our society. If you're not cis, white, hetero, Christian, and you're following all the playbooks of this GOP party line, then you are the problem, according to Boebert. But of course, loving to say that it's a joke, which is often kind of the way these people will go when they are really just communicating something with an ism on the end of it. And it's not a joke, it's not funny, and it's not acceptable. And as you mentioned, Bridget, it should not be something that a US congressman engages in.
Okay, guys, I can prove why her defense is absurd. So are we against all joking? Of course not. In fact, I think you should give wide berth to people who are friends to joke with each other in any way they like. If you guys wanted to make jokes about my Muslim background, I wouldn't care one bit. You know why? Because you're my friends and I trust you. And that makes a giant, giant difference. Whereas if Donald Trump jokes about Muslims, well, he doesn't love Muslims, he wanted to ban them. Then that joke is coming from a hateful place. And that so-called joke is saying, ha ha, look at them. Aren't they different? And so if you want to make a joke about your own church and you're among a loving community and people laugh because, oh, right, the pastor said talks too long, etc. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, I want people to joke around, right? But if somebody from the outside came in and made fun of Christians, here's what I guarantee you, you'd all catch feelings. In fact, I was gonna do one just to show you how you'd catch feelings, but I was so worried about the feelings you'd catch that I didn't do it, okay? But when you do it about Jews or Muslims, everybody goes, yeah, who cares? Yeah, let's laugh at them. No, that's not a funny joke, that's just an insult.
That's right, and hopefully someone will do something, but it's Congress, so probably not.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.